Body count. Of course, I've said on many posts and in some of these audios that I don't even believe in the idea of somebody asking about your body count. I think it's ridiculous. But a lot of people that ask about body count, they act as if they're religious. And one of the comments that I always make when people talk about body count is, why should a woman care about what you think about her body count? Because I know for myself and for many women I know, when we had a body count of 0 and men asked us about it and we told them, they didn't believe us. They assumed that we had whatever number was in their head. And if you're not going to believe a woman, then why ask anyway? So to me, the whole idea of asking a question that you won't believe the answer to is ridiculous. And the whole idea that you think that you can look at a person and know something like that about them is ridiculous. And I remember being in college. I was in East Texas, and I was kind of a wallflower in high school. I was kind of a nerd and read a lot of books and was very introverted. I played sports. I was in choir. I did other extracurricular activities, but I was still very introverted. So I remember going to college and I was thinking, I am hours away from my home and my neighborhood and people that I grew up around. I want to be more outgoing. I want to be more fun. I want to start going to the frat parties. I want to do this and that. So I thought about all that. I did all of that. But I also was not engaging in anything intimate at all. Um, Besides maybe a kiss here and there with the guy that I was dating. That was about as far as it went. But I remember finding out that my roommate and she and I were both equally inexperienced, having no experience at all. That there was a rumor going around that we were very active because we were too friendly. Literally too friendly, literally saying hi to too many people, smiling. I remember being accused of being too free with myself. I'm trying to avoid the censors that come up sometimes on social media. Being too free with myself because I smiled too much. Now, I don't know what smiling too much is, but when you are a woman and you have experienced literally being accused of things because you smile, because you're friendly, and people making certain assumptions about you, why would body count even matter to you? Because it doesn't matter what you've done. It only matters what somebody thinks you've done, because they're going to consider you guilty because of their own perceptions, regardless of what the truth is. And going even further, a lot of these people, they consider themselves religious, but they don't even realize that the same thing happened to Mary. She was betrothed to Joseph, and of course, she was found with child by the Holy Spirit, according to the Christian tradition. And so she did not have a good reputation. Her body count was assumed to be too high. And Joseph was even tempted to call off the wedding, but he didn't. And he moved forward, which, a lot of red pill men would be like, oh, why would you be a stepdaddy? So there's so much to unpack there. But this is literally the mother of Jesus. And to this day, she's called Virgin Mary, the Virgin Mary, as if the fact that she was a married woman who eventually did, become intimate with her husband and have other children, that's erasing all of that, erasing it completely. And it just shows you how men have a problem with even married women being intimate and respecting them. They have to be kept in some kind of perpetually virginal state. But if that was their wife, they wouldn't want her to be like that. They would want her to be, very affectionate, very loving. But they want to still call Jesus' mother, the Virgin Mary. So it's just some food for thought, and just to show kind of, in a sense, how hypocritical some of the people who talk about these things are. They're just really hypocritical. So may you walk in synergy. Body count. Of course, I've said on many posts and